Welcome to Value Vest Daily, where we analyze best value and hot investment opportunities. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about stocks on the market, HIMS and HERS, ticker symbol HIMS.
You know, this company is a real paradox. It's a telehealth pioneer that's seeing absolutely explosive growth, but at the same time, it's facing some pretty serious headwinds. So the big question we're really digging into is this. Is HIMS and HERS a true healthcare star in the making, or is it a high-flying growth story that's maybe becoming a very risky bet?
And there's a good reason everyone's paying attention. Just look at this number. The stock is up over 120% year to date. I mean, that kind of meteoric rise is going to get everyone's attention, and it's exactly why we need to pop the hood and see what's really going on. So let's start with the basics.
All right, first things first. Who exactly is HIMS and HERS, and what is it that they do?
So, HIMS and HERS is this telehealth platform that got its start by tackling some, well, sensitive but massive markets. Think sexual health and hair loss. But they didn't stop there. They've since expanded like crazy, now offering personalized treatments for dermatology, mental health, and the absolutely huge weight management market. And get this, they're still going. A recent launch into menopause care shows they are constantly tapping into new multi-billion-dollar opportunities.
So, let's unpack the bull case, shall we? This is the story of a company that is experiencing some truly, remarkable growth.
Just look at the raw power of their growth. In just 1 year, their quarterly revenue shot up a staggering 73%. We're talking about a jump from roughly $315 million to over $544 million. That is just incredible velocity for a company of this size.
And how are they doing it? Well, it's with a massive and still growing subscriber base. They have 2.4 million people on their platform, and that number just keeps climbing every single quarter. This recurring revenue? Well, that's the engine for their entire business model.
So what's to stop competitors from swooping in? It's their moat, and you can really think of it as a digital fortress. See, HIMS has built incredible brand trust in these health areas that, let's be honest, people don't always want to discuss publicly. By combining that trust with a really smart, data-driven subscription platform, they've created this sticky user experience that is just very, very difficult for anyone else to copy.
But, it's not all smooth sailing. Every big growth story has its risks, and believe me, HIMS and HERS is facing some pretty significant ones. So let's flip the coin and look at the bear case. And these headwinds are serious. An FDA warning letter, that could really restrict how they market their products. A securities fraud lawsuit, that just creates a cloud of legal and financial uncertainty. And the competition is fierce, not just from other startups like Ro, but from pharmaceutical giants like Novo Nordisk in that huge weight loss space. And to top it all off, some recent insider selling by the CEO, that always raises questions about executive confidence. These aren't minor speed bumps, they are real threats to the company's path forward.
Okay, so we've got these two competing stories, the bull and the bear. With all those risks clouding the picture, let's see if the stock chart itself can give us any clues about what the market is thinking right now.
This little table here gives us a great snapshot of the stock's technical health. So the price right now is below its 20-day moving average, which is acting like a short-term ceiling, what traders call resistance. But it's sitting just above its 200-day average, a key long-term trend line that's acting as a floor or support. And then you have the RSI, the Relative Strength Index. It basically measures momentum, and a low number like 38.2 suggests the recent selling might be a little overdone.
Let's zero in on this number, $44.50. This is that crucial 200-day moving average. For a lot of traders, this line is the boundary between a long-term uptrend and a downtrend. The bulls absolutely need the price to stay above this level to keep that positive long-term momentum going. And on the flip side, here's the other key number, $51.20. That's the 20-day moving average, acting as that ceiling, that resistance. For the stock to get its footing back and signal a potential move higher, it really needs to decisively break back above this level. Think of it as the first hurdle it's got to clear.
So, what are the charts telling us? Well, right now, the technicals are showing a stock that's caught in a tug-of-war between its long-term support and its short-term resistance. Honestly, a decisive move in either direction could signal what's next. For traders looking for some kind of confirmation, a sustained move back above that $48 mark could suggest the buyers are finally regaining control.
So where does all of this leave us?
Let's pull back and take a look at who actually owns this company and what the big analysts are forecasting for its future.
Check this out. A massive 88.6% of HIMS and HERS is owned by institutional investors. Yeah, we're talking about the big funds, what they call the smart money. When large institutions own this much of a company, it signals a really high degree of professional conviction in its long-term potential.
And it's not just any institutions either. The biggest names in finance are here. You've got BlackRock and Vanguard as the top two holders, and in total, 868 major institutions have put their capital behind HIMS and HERS. That is a significant vote of confidence.
So where does Wall Street think this stock is headed? Well, in the short term, say the next year, the bullish consensus target is right in that $48 to $52 range. But if you look out further, say 3 years, the optimistic target is between $90 and $110. That implies the stock could potentially double, or even more, if it can successfully navigate the challenges it's facing right now.
Before we get to our final thought, just a quick and really important reminder. This presentation is for informational purposes only, and it should definitely not be considered financial advice. You should always do your own research.
So here we are. We've got a company with phenomenal growth, a really strong brand, and major institutional backing. But on the other hand, it's facing some very real regulatory, legal, and competitive risks. This all sets up the core question for anyone watching this story. Is HIMS and HERS a true healthcare pioneer, or is it a fantastic growth story that's about to face a serious reckoning? Please subscribe to ValueVest Daily for learning daily value and hot investment opportunities.